Hi everyone, this is Shweta from Presidency University, Bangalore School of Media Studies. Today we have Mr. Neeraj Kumar from the Department of Learning and Development. He has got 16 years of experience in the domain of soft skills and personal branding, and out of those 16 years, 11 years are from academics and 5 years from corporate. Today we'll be discussing the importance of soft skills training in the current scenario, whether it's academics or career. So, sir, my first question would be what motivated you to specialize in soft skills training and how do you define soft skills?
First of all, I would like to thank you so much for inviting me for this particular talk, and especially in soft skills, I would love to talk about. And the first question itself is really very unique for me because I am passionate about my training. And as she mentioned about my experience, guys, so why I became soft skills trainer? That's quite a good question. What motivated me to become a soft skills trainer? For me, when I was doing my MBA, I had done my MBA with HR and marketing.
Okay.
So I was very influenced by one of my trainer. He was a personality development trainer of ours. Okay, and the moment he used to come, the first time he came to the class, I was so happy to see him, the way he used to engage the classes and all. And then on that time itself, I decided that I'll be choosing the same area. I'll be also a trainer because training is the one thing that I'm really passionate about. I liked the way he used to handle the crowd, handle students, and used to be so much connected to the students, and that made me to decide this career. And
Okay.
I had done multiple research and all, and that made me much more interested towards soft skills training. So I'm passionate about training.
Okay. So, sir, can you describe a successful training program you developed? What made it effective and what outcomes did you observe?
Okay, successful training programs. For last 16 years, and out of those 16 years, 11 years are from academics. So academic was a bit challenging also in the beginning, but I really liked the way I have learned from my mistakes also. So initially, I also did mistake. People do mistake. I had also done mistake, but from those particular mistakes, I had learned a lot of stuff. And if you ask me any successful kind of training program that I had conducted, there can be many programs. So what I should talk about my successful training program? I cannot give any ranking to my all of the programs, but I can say that most of the programs when I do conduct for the students, and when I get the feedback here doesn't mean they talk about my program, how they experience and all. So when I'm passionate about my training domain, training experience and all, I do love interacting with the students. And my feedback is when they are completely involved, they're interactive, they're speaking a lot, they're involving themselves, and I can see the change in themselves, like from the beginning to the end. So any successful training program ends with one particular purpose or objective. That is, if I have given something and they have learned something, so that reflection should be visible. In most of my training session, I make sure from the beginning itself, when I finish my training session, I would be asking for the reflection. The moment they start sharing the reflection, I understand, okay, my program is completely successful.
Okay.
So that is all about self satisfaction also. So I also feel good that, okay, I have done something, I have learned something.
Yeah.
So for me, most of the programs are successful.
Okay. So, sir, how do you access the specific soft skills needs of students or organizations before designing a training program?
Okay, look, any training program has to take care of few stuff. Okay, without training need analysis, we cannot conduct any kind of program. So training need analysis talks about when I have to train the people, whether they are students and whether they are people who are working professionals. So let's consider students. So I need to know from which area they belong to, their background, and it can be demographic background, it can be cultural background, it can be any academic background as well. Based on that, I have to design my curriculum of training. It starts with if they're it's like if the students are from first semester,
Okay.
so they are coming from different places,
Yeah.
and most of the time students they do lack with confidence while speaking in front of the audience. So my first year training or first semester training would be completely based on building their self confidence, not considering and working on their language part. I mean by English only.
Yeah.
So I don't focus on those areas. Like, okay,
Okay.
I don't have to develop your English communication in the beginning, although that is a separate subject. I want them to come up front by mixing them with certain groups. So I do organize some group activities,
Yeah.
and my main agenda and my main focus is to bring them into that particular comfort zone, whether they start speaking without any hesitation, without just interrupt, without certain kind of interruption between that you did this mistake, that mistake. I just let them speak whatever comes to their mind.
Yeah.
Then gradually I have to develop certain strategies where I have to focus on their communication as well. First agenda is building their self confidence. So first, for first year student, those are the training need analysis.
Yeah.
The students who are coming for some kind of specific purpose, like final year students, they're coming for some interview preparation. So I already know their background, so I have to work a little bit on their academics, like from which area they are. If they're computer science students, so I have to know what are the technical advancement in the current generation or current scenario, what are the job market available for them. So I have to make them prepared for that. So I have to do also my research analysis. I have to also do my research analysis in the domain of their area. So when I am going to interact to them, I have to come up with certain content for them. So that's how. So for first year students, like, it's just about building self confidence and gradually working on their communication. So every training has to go through with training need analysis. So training need analysis, again, I'm repeating it. Training need analysis talks about in which area I'm supposed to train the students.
Yeah.
That goes with certain research, preparing the content, whether they are going to apply those content or not. So it is a gradual process. So it takes certain time.
So does it drains yourself, or is it interesting for you
No,
to
it
like?
is, it is, as I have already told you, that I'm passionate about training. So
Yeah.
it gives me a wonderful kind of satisfaction. So when I do work on research areas, like in this area, I have to search for them. These students are from this specific area. This particular group is belonging from this particular area. So I do go and research about that.
Okay.
That gives me a good kind of feeling that, okay, I'm working on for them, because this is what training need analysis is. I have to prepare for my training,
Yeah.
and they should be also ready to accept my training content. So if I'll not be doing my research, I will not be I will not be doing any justice to the training. It's not like I'll go to the class and speak something whatever comes to my mind. I go with the preparation. So content, strategy, research. So it gives me a good kind of satisfaction, because when they ask question, I should be ready with.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
So the next question is, what teaching methodologies do you find most effective for engaging participants in soft skills?
Okay. As this is also a very peculiar question. Why it is peculiar? Because soft skills training or training itself is different than the teaching. I call myself as a trainer, so I don't teach my students, I train students. And where training is different than the teaching, where in training what happens, students' involvement or the participants' involvement is much more on priority. And if I have I have to provide a training to them, so 70% of their involvement should be. I should speak less. So if 70% of their involvement means they have to be involved completely. So what are the other training methodology I use? It has to be interactive.
Yeah.
So I bring in some storytelling also. Sometimes I have to talk about story to generate their motivation and all, and bringing certain kind of live example to them. Sometimes I play activities with them so that they should be involved. Some gamification in new technologies also. I inbuilt like some other games, not the traditional approach of games, some new activity and all. I am a person who conducts lots of activities in my classroom. So my all activities are divided into two parts. One is like icebreaker activities. So when I go to the class, I have to conduct one icebreaker activity to break the ice. So that my main intention is to conduct the icebreaker activity to let them come out from their comfort zone. Then I can guide them towards the main agenda of my training. So icebreaker, then the activities which are based on certain models. And then after completing the content, after completing the exercise or whatever it is, then debriefing with their examples. And then they start giving reflection. So these are the training methodology I do apply in my training.
Hearing all this, I feel like your classes must be very interesting, sir.
I try my level best to do so.
I guess so. So my next question is, how do you measure the effectiveness of your training sessions? And what metrics do you use to evaluate success?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful question. Okay, it's all about, like, I can say that I have provided the training and I felt satisfied after training. So it's okay for me, my satisfaction, it's okay. But for students, what would be their uh, kind of result or reflection?
Yeah.
So in that sense, if I have to plan my training delivery, I make sure during my training delivery, I'll be keeping certain assessment things for the students, for the audience, not students only, audience. So my participants, my audience. So if I am doing certain icebreaker, so after icebreaker also I do conduct some reflection questions to them. Even the icebreaker used to be for 2 minutes. I ask them, what are your reflection after doing that icebreaker? Then afterwards, I conduct certain activities which are related with the model.
Yeah.
If it is goal setting or if it is time management, I will be conducting some activities related with time management or goal setting.
Okay.
I will be giving them certain tasks to do their goal setting. It can be a vision board activity, or it can be anything. Time management activity, I have to tell them, okay, identify one. I just divide them in group. Shall I talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
What I do, I just tell them if it is time management, okay. And when it comes to time management, people do have to find out time wasters.
Okay.
And those time wasters only not let them go to complete their task. And I'm talking about procrastination.
Okay.
So if I have to talk about procrastination, I don't deliver any lecture. What I tell them, guys, what you do, I divide them in group. I give them A3 sheets or a chart paper and tell them, you have to design a monster, a kind of monster.
Okay.
And that monster is just a replica of procrastination.
Okay.
Procrastination is the thing which will not let you do your task on time. So you have to identify all those elements of your procrastination. It's all about, with time management and procrastination, people are not able to identify what are those time wasters for me, which are not letting me to complete my task. So procrastination monster. So it becomes really very engaging for them when they design procrastination monster.
Yeah.
It can be any imaginary or alien kind of picture, and then they start talking about pointing out all those arms and ammunition of the procrastination monster, and then completing this exercise with reflection question.
Okay.
If I have to evaluate individual students on certain patterns, and I'll give them goal worksheet where they are supposed to identify their goals, write down their goals and all. If it is habit formation, then they have to write their habit formation, 1 week tracking calendar, 15 days tracking calendar, 1 month tracking calendar, and then based on that, I just do evaluate the students. So based on the module, I have to evaluate. If it is goal setting, I'll give them worksheet.
Okay.
If it is communication or art of asking questions, or if it is communication style, I'll be conducting some activities. It can be an impromptu activity, it can be a jam activity where I am going to evaluate on the basis of their performance after my delivery.
So, sir, in your opinion, what are the most critical soft skills for students to develop in today's job market, and why?
Okay. Soft skills, I would give one definition of the soft skills. Okay. Soft skills are the bunches of various skills together which makes you a presentable person.
Yeah.
And for being a presentable person, first of all, before being a presentable person, you need to understand why you need to be presentable.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, we need to be presentable.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to showcase our talent. We have to showcase our skills. If it is job, I have to talk about myself. I'm not the one who is going to compete, who's going to talk about myself. There will be my competitor. So how I'm going to prove the employer or the interviewer that I am the best suitable person for your position compared to my other fellow colleagues or my competitor. So I have to make sure that they need to understand what are the elements they are supposed to add in their profile, so that profile should be presentable, whether it is offline, whether it is online. Okay, if it is offline, they need to know how to interact with the people. If the person is going to ask questions related with goal setting, related with strength, weaknesses, they should be ready with their answer. Okay, so I was about to talk about the definition. I just spoke about the definition. Soft skills are the bunches of various skills together which makes you a presentable person.
Exactly.
Okay, so communication skills, your interpersonal skills, your leadership skills, and there are many. There are 87 soft skills which people are supposed to have, and some of the soft skills people do already have. They are not able to recall or realize they do already have those skills.
Okay.
So we do conduct certain exercise, certain kind of process through which we make them understand, okay, you have to realize certain aspects which are already there in you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the one thing. And one more thing, one more definition. There are two aspects. One is soft skills, then there is hard skills. Soft skills will your hard skill will take you to the job. What are the hard skills? The technical skills or the technical requirements of for doing the task. If you're a student from media studies, your particular domain of media will talk about you do have these skills. Okay, and that makes you eligible for that particular job, whichever is there in your domain. Okay, if the students are from BTech, they need to know which they already sorry if students are from BTech, so their technical skills talks about whatever they have learned in their curriculum, and how it is justified with their certification. For doing any task, whatever technical requirement is there, that is considered as hard skill. Your hard skill, that's why I say your hard skill will take you to the job. Okay, and your soft skills will get you the job. Because soft skills is the one thing which allows you to speak about yourself, to speak about the hard skill which you have. And there will not be only you who will be going and competing for the same job.
Basically we have seen this interviews, like if we have been present in interviews, we have seen that they ask about the technical things. Very few questions will be related to technicalities. It's mostly about who we are and what will we be doing in such situations, like if some scenario comes up. So
behavioral questions.
As a communication student, I also have seen, like, most interviews, it's about how will I handle the situation and some stuff.
So that's what your soft skills will take you to the your hard skill will take you to the job. I'm repeating it again. Your hard skill will take you to the job, and your soft skill will get you the job. And these two, even though your academic session ends or academic period ends, it never leaves you. So these two are always required in your career. When you have to go for your career advancements, after working in certain organization, you have to jump to some senior position. Also, you need these two skills all the time. And they are supposed to go parallelly.
So how do you incorporate technology into your training sessions?
Okay, good question. Good question. I was waiting for this question because, in these days, lots of things have changed.
Exactly.
Okay, lots of technological advancement came, and after COVID, we could see lots of changes. And after the invention of this AI, artificial intelligence, it has taken over mostly. And students, they sometimes feel like, okay, they are much more well versed with the technology. So if I'm a trainer, I'm talking to the people who are into my same domain, or teaching or training, whosoever. If you are also not aware about the technological advancement which is happening in your surrounding, you will not be able to train or teach your student. Because they will feel like I know better than my teacher. So if you have to make them realize that you also know, because your technical domain, your knowledge which you carry is really very vast. When it comes to technology, you have to be also technological friendly. Means you have to also know all those aspects which are happening in your surrounding. Always grab the opportunity which are available there.
And nowadays, like, we have seen technology is like changing every day. Every day we are coming up with something new, and we have n number of things to learn in the current scenarios. So the next question, which how do you ensure that your training is inclusive and caters to diverse learning needs among participants?
Okay, that's what it relates to the last question which you asked, and I was about to talk about how I have been involving certain technological knowledge, okay, or what are the trends in the market has gone through, and I have grabbed the opportunity to understand how those advancements happen, like talking about artificial intelligence. I make sure I have to utilize all those current technology, whether it is AI, whether it is any other aspects. So in these days, for last 2 years, I have explored a lot in AI, artificial intelligence. So I have embedded all those experiences in my training methodology. Like earlier, I used to do a little bit more research. So AI has made my life easy in bringing the research for me. So it's a companion for me. It is making my life easy by bringing certain activities. So in these days, I have been taking the help of certain AI tools, not only one or two, 3-4 AI tools. And I have been giving and designing the prompt to them for bringing certain classroom fun activities or classroom activities based on the model. And it is really giving so much impact. It is bringing lots of things. So AI has changed a lot, and it is helping a lot to us. I have been using it. I am a personal branding expert also. I have been using it for my personal branding. I have been using it for students branding, visibility and all. And I believe that if you are technological friendly, you will always be at par from others.
Yeah.
And if you have to compete in the market, you have to be technological friendly.
And it also motivates your students, as we are students, it also motivates us as like professors. They have been using the technology to grow at being a teacher. So we students can like use it more efficiently to grow more in our career.
Exactly.
Yeah, so sir, my last question would be, what advice would you give to the educators looking to integrate soft skills training into their curricula?
Look, soft skills, I do say it's a part of the life. It never goes out.
Yeah.
If you remember, in your childhood till your 8 or 9, you may have studied the subject moral values.
Yeah.
Okay.
Till
So,
eighth we have
till
studied
8th, we used to study
moral
that.
values.
Okay, moral values. It used to talk about the etiquettes. It used to talk about how we are supposed to interact with people in society, how we are supposed to give respect and value to other people, and how we are supposed to communicate effectively in front of the people. If you're in social situation, what kind of language you are supposed to
Yeah,
speak
so
about.
basically it taught us like how to behave in the society. It was not way more deeper about career and other aspects.
Exactly.
But now coming to college, we have more learned about the soft.
Yes. Soft skills, that's why. After 8th, you guys may have forgotten about
Yeah,
soft skills. So
exactly.
because your curriculum started becoming more complex,
Yeah.
going in 9th, 10th, and 11th, 12th, more specific towards the course and all. And then that's where we just forgot about the importance of soft skills. That's why for all the educators, my suggestion would be soft skills should be the part of not only the soft skills trainer. Soft skills is the one thing that should be the part for all teachers also, the other trainers also who are into different domain, because soft skills tells you how to present yourself.
Yeah.
So if you are educator, you should know how to be presentable in front of your students.
Yeah.
And soft skills also talks about being aware of what are the changes happening in your surrounding. Be aware about the creativity and innovations.
Yeah.
So for your teaching and training style, you have to be coming up with your creative mindset, coming out with thinking out of the box approach of training students. And in these days, teaching and training should go parallel.
Yeah.
It should not be divided. Okay. Why it should not be divided? People talk about experiential learning.
Yeah.
So experiential learning is all about how you are involving your students to interact with you more. So it has to be always inclusive learning where you interact with students more, you give them chance to speak. It's not only one way, it has to be two-way always. So soft skills teaches you all these aspects. So how you can be more interactive with the students, how you leverage the technological advancement which is happening in your surrounding, okay, and inculcating those in your training and teaching curriculum, and interacting with the students, letting them also talk about.
Yeah.
If you have taught one model or one subject, let them explain in front of you. Then you will also get to know, okay, they have learned something, they are learning something, they are doing something. You will be able to see their growth. So I would say at last that soft skills should be the part of each and individual's life. Not only till 8 you study moral values and then you forget about that. And then in school and college, not all school and colleges are having this kind of opportunity of
Yeah,
soft skills
exactly.
training, but it should be there in all aspects. Government has been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They are trying to bring in again back to the school. Some of these schools, they have also started soft skills training. Yeah. In terms of life skills and all. So yeah, it should be the part of the life, part of all the academic changes which happens.
Yeah, sure.
Should never go out.
Yeah, it was great talking to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights. I hope the educators will apply all these input of yours in soft skills training. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.